guys? It's your boy, Barca Boy 103. We have some breaking news coming through. I wouldn't say it's huge or ginormous. We've kind of been expecting this now for about 2 or 3 months, and that is the departure of Oriol Romeu, who has now agreed officially a contract termination with Barcelona. Where he joins the free agent, I don't know, to be honest. I don't care. I've heard about Girona being interested. I heard about the newly promoted side, Santiago Zola's team, and Real Oviedo being interested, but he has agreed a termination with Barcelona. We are hearing he will be paid a little bit out of his final year. I think Barcelona are going to be paying him about 60%, so they're going to save about 30% of his final wages. But again, that can change based on how things go in the final few hours of actually officially signing the termination. So we'll wait and see on the actual numbers, but Romeu's tenure at Barcelona cut a year short, only spent 1 season at Barcelona upon his return. Of course, we paid 5 to 6 million euros for him, activating his release clause from Girona because we were desperate for a CDM. He came in, and boy oh boy was he shite. In the end, Xavi could have just trusted Casado in the B team. Maybe Casado then wasn't quite ready to what he was last season, but maybe would have been better than a washed Romeu. Definitely wasn't at the races to compete at the highest level. Got phased out, went on a loan last season, back to Girona because they were kind of desperate for reinforcements and because he was really good for them. He was probably worse than he was for us than he was for Girona last season. Barely played. We had our fear clause and everything, and didn't even come to fruition. He's now returned this summer, trained with Barcelona for 2 months, so was not part of the preseason tour. Was on the bench for the Joan Gamper. That was probably solely based on just the presentation aspect of the Joan Gamper only, and now he is leaving. I respect him being super professional on the situation. He was, of course, very cooperative with Barcelona. They were kind of taking their time with this, so he was, of course, okay with it. He knew that no team would come into Barcelona and take over his current contract, so termination was needed. We'll wait and see where he does join as a free agent. Might even retire. Wouldn't be surprised if that happens. But his tenure at Barcelona, definitely, without a doubt, a failure. It was one of very interesting promise. At the time, we were linked with Ruben Neves, Zubamendi, Max Pfeiffer, and you're like, oh, these are all so expensive, blah blah blah, huge risk. And out of nowhere, a CDM that's done so well in La Liga on the cheap, just as a stopgap for a year or two, you're thinking, and former La Masia player as well, you're thinking, bloody hell, this could be the absolute jackpot. In the end, it was far from it. There's a lot of high hopes in the sense that, okay, he can definitely do a job for a year. Some people even say he'll be so good on European nights. We don't drop those zero ball knowledge names, but in the end, it didn't really turn out well. But you don't lose too much money. Only 6 million transfer fees were cost us, of course, plus his wages. I think Jordan did cover the majority of his wages last season, though. Game is game. It is what it is, and of course, this will be super important now for registration. As of recording, we're still waiting for Chesney, Rooney Bargi, Hector Ford, and Gerard Martin to be registered, so this exit will definitely help with that. Of course, he's not earning much, but the players that we want to register aren't earning much either. For example, Gerard Martin on less than probably 50,000 euros per week. He's on 50, so of course there's going to be space there for him. Probably space there for Hector Ford as well. Maybe not enough space for Chesney, but definitely can do 1, maybe even 2 registrations with this exit. So looking forward to seeing what Romeu does in the future. You could maybe say in La Liga and those lower end teams would be surprised there, but again, I want to thank him for what he's done for Barcelona, for his professionalism over the past few years. Hasn't worked out. He sat on the bench quietly in that last 6 months under Xavi, made the loan move very easy to Girona, and very quickly early in the summer window, even during this time here, very cooperative. So shout out to him and his professionalism, but in the end of Barcelona, unfortunately, it did not work out for him. But of course, in the comments down below, let me hear your thoughts on Romeu's tenure at Barcelona. We all, of course, know it was a flop. How would you level the mistake it was to sign him? That's probably only the real thing that I'm wondering about this. How would you rate the mistake that it was signing Romeu? Of course, drop a like if you did enjoy. Subscribe down below if you haven't already, and hopefully again this exit very big for registration this La Liga season, with of course the window ending at the end of this month. So I'll see you guys next time on the channel. Take care and Forza Barca.